Okay everyone, I thought I'd make a really short, very short video about the workshop that's coming up this week. It starts on Friday. There's still 10 places left. But a few people asked me why I wanted to add all these sort of different things together, and I thought to just show people sort of what we're going to do. Now I'm not teaching, I'm just teaching the yoga part of it. And I've got all these amazing teachers that taught me. And but I'm going to show you a little bit of what we'll do on the day, and maybe talk about what I'm going to do at the end of the day with the yoga. But really just show you what Suzuki is, or what Suzuki is to me, what the drumming is to me. And Feldenkrais, I'll talk a little bit about that, though I'm no expert in it, but why I've coupled these things together. First of all, we've got Moto Yuki teaching Taiko. So I studied and lived with him for a little while. He's a beautiful man that taught me a lot about life, art and yoga. He teaches yoga through music and art. And so I went on this journey with him for really a short time, but quite an intense time. And yeah, how about I stop talking? I'm just going to play the drum for a bit and then I'll chat again. What I loved about Taiko and doing Taiko was it just feels really good to do. Like those, you do that for an hour and you just feel cleansed, your whole body's cleansed. It's really grounding, it opens up the base, and the great thing about how Moto teaches is a lot of drumming is sort of elevated the muscle, whereas his technique is really actually about letting go, and you're actually almost feeding yourself, so it's more cyclic. So it's all coming into the body as opposed to it's in. And that way you can actually play drums for days, hours, and it actually feels effortless. And the longer you go, the actually effortless it comes. Each time you hit the drum, it's a really clear marker of where you are at in that moment. So when you start to really listen to drums, and especially when you play the bigger ones, you can really hear if you're clear or not with the sound that comes back. Now this drum's a little out of tune, but in the end you realise it doesn't matter what you play. There's that, you're feeding back and you can listen to yourself. Also, rhythm used to be a big part of our lives. We always had some sort of rhythmic exchange in society, whether it be clapping, singing, some sort of rhythmic dance, movement, and a lot of cultures, drumming. And we don't have that anymore. So when you play drums, people, they want to look and see what's going on. So, and his drumming really leads towards innocence. One big thing he taught me was innocence. Yeah, he would always have children on stage playing that really didn't know what they were doing. And his thing was like, we need to end up like the child. Because everyone would always watch the kid on stage. He'd stop and get it wrong, but they'll look at that kid, because the child is free. So his thing was like innocence, Michael. So that's what he taught me. Yeah. And so even if you've never drummed before, even if you think that you have no rhythm, you do, everyone does. And he teaches in a really amazing way where you're not sort of, I don't know, be good at drumming, even though you end up being good at drumming. Yeah. Second thing that we got in the 3-day intensive is Suzuki. So I was with Frank Theatre for 5 years, 5 or 6 years, quite a while. Yeah, and I just think that Suzuki, when it comes to especially bodies in the modern world, if you want to wake them up as quickly as possible, this is the way to do it with this sort of technique. So it's all really about the center. Most of the time you're just dealing with the center. and where that is moving around the room. You usually do it on a wooden floor. And the placement of the feet in Suzuki. So you have all these amazing, very simple, but really deep exercises. And at first, Suzuki seems very muscular and athletic, especially when you start to do things like statues, coming onto the toes, and you start to really, your legs really get a workout. There's one-legged statue, go down, each time different, and then you go up and down, and you start to really work the body strong. So at first, when you do Suzuki, it seems like athletic and muscle, and maybe for a time it's supposed to be like that, but eventually it becomes absolutely nothing about being good at it or athletic about it or strong or muscle. It really is about coming into the moment and being free. So it's a very defined technique which you practice over and over again. And then essentially it's sort of, well, for me it was like a bit of a prison, but it's sort of a beautiful prison to be in, because within it you had to become free in this really strong form. This form that's so technically, you do all these certain things like where you're placing your center, how your feet, your body, but then eventually you have to break free of all that, and you have the more free form stuff that comes after. So we do very yang exercises, which lead into very free, doing free stuff, but actually all that form and all that centering, it really does actually let you be free, because you get to stay grounded and connected to the earth. Yeah. So we've got drumming, we've got Suzuki. Then we have Feldenkrais, which is, I'd say, the opposite of Suzuki in a way, but really they lead to a similar thing, which is sort of efficient, very efficient, biomechanical, smooth, free, no willpower. At first you work with willpower, a lot of what I did with Suzuki. And Feldenkrais is this really gentle, organic way of moving. So to go from all this really strong, which at first, yes, is muscle building and centering and stuff, to Feldenkrais, which is really, well, I haven't done much of it, but when I found it, I thought it was amazing. So that's just the move that she's coming in. I'm just doing the video. It was amazing. It was like this, jumping into a warm hot tub. And the great thing about Feldenkrais is they sort of don't tell you how to do it. You're led to discover how the body works a little bit more efficiently. Would you say that to new people? Yeah, then you got Feldenkrais, which I won't demo because you've got to do it really. Yeah, and then at the end we're going to do Oki-do yoga. So Oki-do is an interesting yoga, not very well known, but really great in that it's not really solely focused, especially in classes solely focused on asanas. There's other broad ranging stuff, but my focus really will be more creative sort of yoga, ritual, bringing everything we've done today and really coming together and creating something amongst the group. I believe that in every moment of the day, when things, it's a hard one to explain, but when we have a group of people that have done all this work all day, we're in a nice place with our bodies and each other. So within that space, within that moment of time, there's a movement, there's a song, there's a dance, there's a ritual that can come out of that space. And so that's what we're going to create at the end. Yeah. Still spaces left. Book in. We've got about 5 days.